All right, everybody, welcome to the JK Theory. Here we talk about anything and everything. No topic is left untouched, no stone is left unturned. We give it to you raw, real, and uncut. And before we get into it, I'm Jay,
I'm Kay.
and this is the JK Theory. So, we definitely got to talk about this topic. It's been something that's been hot. It's been all over the news feeds everywhere. That's WWE. I mean, yes, you got the whole Cena turning bad or turning heel, but there's so many other things happening in WWE right now. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about was Rey Mysterio. Bro, is it just me or are they just treating him like a doormat? What is going on? He can't win in the US for nothing.
Rey Mysterio is a legend, but what comes with being an older legend is the fact that now it's time for you to put up the younger generation. So that's how they use him. They're not using him as a doormat per se. They're using him as a stepping stone for other wrestlers.
They're stepping all over his ass because
They are.
yet I get using him to pass the baton, so to speak,
Yeah.
on a pay-per-view, right? But he's working every fucking week. Like, come on, it's only so much abuse you can give him.
But that's what most of the legends, that's just how it works. Once you get to a certain spot, there's nothing else Rey Mysterio can do to make Rey Mysterio bigger. Like there's nothing else he can accomplish. So therefore, they use him because he is so talented still, and he does have that name to bring up the other people. So that's his role now, is to bring up the younger generation.
I feel that, but they're not treating him like they would treat Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. They're treating him like the Brooklyn Brawler. You know what I'm saying? They're that's how they're treating him. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I love the guy. He is super talented. He still got it. I believe he needs to slow down so he can last longer. But give him something. If you're gonna make him lose for a reason. They need some writers. We'll get into that in a minute. But they need to build some sort of story. I mean, it's getting boring.
I honestly think he should retire. I don't see a place for him too much. Like Dom has his spot. And I think his main goal was to get Dom in there and get him recognized and everything like that. And he's done that.
Dom is
So
whack.
now, huh?
He's whack.
I love Dom.
Dom is
Honestly,
whack. As a wrestler, he's garbage. As drama, he's gold.
I don't think he's bad as a wrestler. I just don't think, again, like I said, with a lot of WWE talent, they don't let him shine the way he could shine. I really don't. I've seen Dom wrestle, and he can actually wrestle, but
Where?
they
Not in
let him
WWE.
go back to some of his older matches. Like when he first started, he wasn't that bad. He does a lot of things. It's just the fact that when you're a heel, you can't do certain things. Like if you watch Finn Balor, the way he used to wrestle compared to what he does now, it's totally different.
Finn is dope though. Finn is
Yeah,
dope, whether
yeah,
he's a heel or not.
yes,
He shot. He reminds me so much of like Shawn Michaels when I watch him. Like he's very very talented.
yes.
But Dom, I don't know, man. You know what? He plays the pussy role too good.
He
That is just
does.
like, I don't know if I want to give this guy the time of day. Anyway, Rey Mysterio. Yes. Should he retire? Yes. Or change it up. Make him into a manager. Make him a Teddy Long or make him a wise man. Make him something. Whether it's a heel or not, he's better as a babyface.
Yeah,
But make something out of it. Do a like a Mr. Miyagi Karate Kid kind of a vibe or something where he's, teaching these luchadors. He's always with Dragon Lee. It's
yeah.
always the same shit. There's only so many 619s and Hurricanranas you can do. He's not paving the way for Penta. He already did that without fighting Penta. You know what I'm saying? Like he already paved that way. They need to find something else for him or kick rocks, man. As much as I love him, with all due respect, but I think they're just taking his brand or his mystique and they're just killing it.
I mean, but that's what they do with legends. That's if you notice, a lot of the legends, they once they get to a certain spot, they start losing a lot.
Name 15.
Name 15 what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I feel you. I feel you.
I can name a few.
No, but it's like, if I just don't see them. I put Rey Mysterio in that category of Ric Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H. I put him up there. Um, that's why I don't know, maybe because I'm biased, maybe because I'm Hispanic and he's Mexican or whatever, but he's dope, man. He's got so many genuine matches that are great. He's the closest thing to Eddie Guerrero that we're going to get probably for a long time. But I don't know. I really think that they should use him in a different way, or it won't be a bad look to put him to NXT and have him, work with them and show them how to do the shit.
I just feel like he's at a certain point where he should just retire, in all honesty. Like the LWO didn't turn out to be what they thought it was going to turn out to be.
It never was really a big thing ever.
Oh,
Even at its height, it was
right,
never.
which is true. You are right on that. But I mean, yeah, I just think it's time for him to retire. I think he's done everything he could do, and just go out.
Okay, so we got Ray out the way. We did kind of touch a little bit on writers, right? We also touched on a little bit on how Ray can only win if he's in the U.S. So that leads me into this next question. Why is it? We know why, but it just kind of bothers me.
Okay.
Why is it that when WWE goes out of the country, they go to Europe, Dubai, whatever the case is, you can call those matches left and right. It's always the babyface. There's never a tag flip. There's never, a title flip. There's never a huge shocking thing. It's, you look at the match and you're like, yep, he's going to win. She's going to win. Da, da, da. It's so predictable. It's got to be on purpose. But why is that?
I don't. Well, for one, like when you go to places like Dubai, they paying a lot of money, so they just want the matches. It's not meant for them to do anything to change the storylines per se out there. So, I mean, why change the title when you get to Dubai when they have their own titles and everything like that there? Remember they did this whole what was it like the heavyweight champion versus the world champion and
And
whoever
I
won.
get that. That was dope. But I mean, these guys were in Brussels. Like, I mean, so they could have at least added to a storyline, right? They don't even do that. It's just like, nope, this person, and we know this person is going to win.
I think it's more of a money grab than anything else there.
Right, money and merch. I mean, I feel I get it. It's too predictable. WWE, you got to do something. Shock us. Do something. I love the crowd though. I like that
Oh yeah, the crowd is dope.
Crowds are dope. They got their own little chants, their own little
Yes.
way of doing things. But come on, what happened? This is supposed to be the new era, Netflix, the uncensored, and they're freaking black screening middle fingers, and they're trying to manipulate the crowd responses and blurring out the you ain't shit and oh shit and all this. Like, come on, man, this is Netflix. I can pull up videos where they're showing freaking boobs and all that crap. Like, you can't show this? Like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't see a point of the Netflix besides the fact that it was more money. Because in my estimation, it's pretty much the same shit. Like I thought they were going to do more uncensored stuff, more like Cody fuck yous and all that type of stuff that we normally wouldn't get, but it's the same type of things. And I'm like, well, what was the difference?
Yeah, and it's weird how like you'll get the F bomb, you'll get the oh shit if you're watching it live, right? Because we know it's a couple seconds delayed. But then when you replay it, it's blocked out.
Yeah, yep.
What's the point? You got stand-up comedy that goes extremely vulgar, which I love. I love comedy as it is. You're not bleeping them out.
I think the difference is the fact that they have a lot of kids there, and they want. I know what you're gonna
Shouldn't
say.
there be a disclaimer on the ticket that you purchase?
They should know
Isn't
already.
there ratings on Netflix? With, hey, when you watch this, blah 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 blah.
Listen, when we were younger and kids, they didn't bleep shit out. Like you said, we seen everything, we heard everything,
And
everything.
we ended up just fine. So these little rats will be just great. Just ask John Cena, they'll be fine.
They're fine. Yes, I do agree. I don't think they should censor nothing out. If you brought your kids there, then you could expect the unexpected.
Right. And don't get it twisted. We're even though this is Netflix, we're still paying to see this.
Exactly. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This is a premium service.
Hmm.
So last time I checked, Netflix ain't the cheapest game around anymore. And
Keep going
you know,
up.
I do want to see it grow. I do want to see it, expand, but you gotta let people be people, man. Like you gotta let, CM Punk pipe bomb. You
Yeah.
gotta let Cody Rhodes F bomb. You gotta let, Seth freaking Rollins throw up the middle fingers. I mean, could you imagine them trying to freaking censor Stone Cold back in the day? Are you serious? You
It would
couldn't go
happen.
an episode without two middle fingers and a can of beer. Like, come on now. There was kids in the crowd back then.
Yes.
DX with the suck it. Bro, we used to get suspended for doing that shit. Come on. It's ridiculous.
It
So
is.
moving on to the next topic. So we touched on the writers. Um, Speaking of writers, where's the story? What happened to the Wyatt Six? Where's their story? Where are they going? I mean, the beautiful, talented Alexa Bliss is back, but where are the Wyatt Six?
So the thing about the Y6 is what I was worried about to begin with is the fact that they're a big ass group. So if they want
Called
people
it.
to fight,
You called it. There's proof. You called it.
uh, there it's hard to find people to go against them. It's so many. It's six of them, and you bring Alexa Bliss in. I mean, technically, then it will be six. But
Six, yeah.
yeah, but still, it's like ain't no big ass group out there to face them. You got to keep making up like teams and groups and all this other shit. And it's like, no, what they should do with them is have Uncle Howdy. They should have Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. That's it. Like that should be it right there. I'm sorry, Eric Rowland. I'm sorry, whoever the other two dudes are. I can't even remember their fucking names. But it's they're pointless. Like they're okay, but they're not great. Like it was fun for a while, but there's nothing unless the only thing I can see with them doing with them that would be fun if it's like do like Halloween type things where when they first came out they blasted everybody in the back and things like that.
Right.
Like if they do stories like that where they pick on one person and then that person gets two other people.
Or a faction. They can pick on a faction and go up
But there
against
is no
a faction.
faction. There is no
There's
real
Judgment
faction.
Day. They can mess with them.
Judgment
They
Day
can
has
mess,
three people.
they can mess with the new tag team champions. The new Earthquake and Typhoon. Those two dudes.
You talking about the Viking Raiders?
Yep. They could mess with LWO.
Nobody's gonna care about this though. Like it's a pointless. It's pointless. Like they there's no
Then they could
so
turn on each other. There's a storyline.
they're not talented enough. None of them have names except for
Okay.
Uncle Howdy, and Uncle Howdy only has it because he's Bray's brother.
So bring back the show Bray used to do, right? And then do what I mentioned earlier on one of our episodes where they need to build an origin story. They need to go back. They need to pick each person individually and show them behind the scenes at the swamp or where they came from, what's the purpose of the mask, what's the purpose of this, what's the purpose of that. Build the person up.
The problem is nobody's going to care about them.
You got to make them care.
It's impossible. Those people, they have been there for a very long time. All of them. All of them have been there for a very long time. Nobody cared. And I'm sorry, nobody cares now. Like the only people, the only reason people even remotely care is because it was the legacy of Bray, and that was Uncle Howdy. Like if Bray was around, this would be a lot funner. Bray talks. He had vocals where he can do promos and everything like that.
Right.
Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, I've heard him on the mic. He's decent, but he's not decent enough to carry them because the rest of them aren't that good on the mic.
So, what do you think is going to save him? If you were given the task, okay, you got a month. You need to save him, or we're ditching him. Your job depends on it. What would you do?
Probably getting fired. Um, in all honesty, I would get Alexa Bliss and I would get Nikki Cross and I will match them together to go against Liv Morgan and Raquel.
Mm.
Because if you're going to start somewhere, you start with who people actually care about. And so once I get them into the mix, I will bring Uncle Howdy in to take on a champion, a lower ranked champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even say Braun Breaker because I don't think he can beat Braun Breaker.
He should whoop Ludwig Kaiser's ass. He's good at getting his ass whooped.
He's not a champion though.
Piece of shit. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to bring like Alexa Bliss would do wonders for that group. So that's who I would put out there because Alexa Bliss can talk. Alexa Bliss is popular. Alexa Bliss can wrestle. She has a following. I mean, at the Royal Rumble, she got honestly the biggest pop out there. So you know people love her and they will follow her. And that's who I would start with if I'm trying to regenerate the Wyatts.
Okay. What if they create something? For example, the Bloodline had the Ulafala thing, right? That red thing.
Yep.
Kane and the Undertaker had the urn.
Yep.
Like, what if they had something like that was symbolized Bray, right? And let's say some stupid ass like that All Americans, like that Kurt Angle wannabe. Let's say he stole it, and they fight and go after that because now that's a faction. He can go after that. Maybe that can wrap up some kind of a storyline and build that up too.
People will care about that for a week or two, and that's it.
It could be something with Brays. They can make it up. You know what I'm saying?
Even if you got something to Bray, you will have to get a person that's actually Randy Orton. You would need like a Randy Orton. You would need like a Kevin Owens. You would need somebody of that nature that people actually give a damn about to make the storyline fun and interesting. Because Randy Orton was the legend killer. Well, technically, Bray is a legend. So if he did something to knock over, I don't want to say Bray's ashes because that's fucked
okay,
up.
something simple like steal his mask. The
exactly,
mask he wore to the like that.
Yeah, something like that. Or he stepped on his mask and broke it.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like to make them go after him now. Cody, if they went after Cody, it would be something because it's like, okay, I'm trying to think who was Bray's last. I think it was Kevin Owens.
It was that Mountain Dew match, that blackout match. That was his last match, but I can't remember who he fought.
That's I thought his last like rivalry was Kevin Owens, but I can't fully remember it because it was so long ago. But the person who was his last rivalry, I would go after them type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you need something to, and it has to be Uncle Howdy to do it. It can't be Dexter Loomis or whatever the other guy name is.
So basically, have Uncle Howdy correct the wrongs that were done.
He has to be the star. He is the one that has to be the star. That's the brother. That's the legacy. He has to be the one to do it. So I would start. I would get him into something like that. Yes, he has to correct Bray's wrongs if you want, per se. And Alexa and Nikki will have to be the ones to follow. And if you want to bring Eric Rowland, just because he was originally part of Bray's camp, I understand. But the other two, they got to go.
Braun Strowman.
You can even bring. You can bring Braun Strowman. You can have Uncle Howdy, Braun Strowman, Eric Rowland, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross.
Oh, that's a strong faction.
Exactly. It's 3 dudes, 2 girls. You can work with that easily.
Yeah, that's mad strong. The other ones could be minions, you know?
Yeah, like because now it's like NWO type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many of them. You have no storylines for all these people, and they just get lost in the mix.
I think they should definitely do like some Papa Shango type shit, like some Boogeyman type shit.
Yes.
You know, like Taker back in the day in the boiler room type shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they can really go dark. Why don't they shoot in the backstage anymore? Like it's always like the little area with the big metal steel
Yeah.
case, and that's it. You know, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
What would you think? What do you think they need to do to bring them out more?
They need to pull out the heartstrings. They need to incorporate Bray back into it. They need to show more of the story.
Hmm.
There's so many unknowns. Where do these people come from? Why did they end up this way? They need to build that story. They need to hire some writers, like some series writers, and just come up with something that can just last. You know, don't give us all the info, just enough to keep us hooked, and just watch the next episode, the next episode, the next episode.
They was really doing good with those old videotapes.
Yes.
That was really well done, well played, but then they have nowhere to go with it no more. And that was the problem I figured was gonna happen. Like they can get to a certain point and then they have nothing else to go with.
Well, I'm pretty sure they could work something out to where if you actually look at the old videotapes, you can come up with a storyline, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, when they're going to expose something, the tape gets stolen, you know, and now they got to recover the tape. And, you know what I mean? Build that. That could be something that they could spin with.
There you go.
You know, I was going to say steal the VCR, but that ain't really going to do shit.
Yeah, ain't nobody got VCR no more.
But yeah, I mean, they need something. There's so many ways they can attack people too. I'm pretty confident before the year's over, Finn Balor's going to go demon. Um, Penta's dark. If you really look at it, they could
Yep.
always attack him. Um, Finn Balor, the Boogeyman pops up once or twice a year. They can always attack him. Um, they can right their wrongs, like you mentioned, go after Kevin Owens. Especially, he's been very dark lately, so they can always go after him. So there's always something there. They just got to find the right time, and they need to stand behind them. I don't think they're just pushing them enough.
Or they can do the inevitable and do what everybody else wanted to happen before and have the Undertaker because everybody wanted Undertaker to pass it to Bray. Well, Bray's not here anymore.
Nah, you can't. You can't give that to Bo. He ain't ready. He ain't nowhere near ready.
Of course, he's not ready, but you can have him mentor him.
So I've listened to a few of Taker's podcasts,
Okay.
and he was behind a lot of the writing stuff when it came to the what was it called? His group, the Dominion or whatever it is.
Oh, the Ministry of Darkness.
Ministry of Darkness. Yeah. So he knows his stuff. He
Oh
said
yeah.
that if they let him do it, he could have got a good year more into that. He had so much storyline there. So I mean, you got Taker, who's already active. He's always willing to help. He's
Yep.
doing the show now, the LFG or something like that. So come on, man. If anybody's more qualified to come up with some sick shit, it's gonna be him.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. He needs to work with them, specifically just them, and especially, I think people don't realize how big the mic is, because if you can do promos really well, you can go a long way. And I think with them, with I was about to say Bray, with with Bo, he's okay at him, but if he can kind of get that inner demon out more, that will take him way bigger places.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So they need to find the right thing to do with the Wyatts.
Yes.
If not, just drop the whole group and do what you said, man. Bliss, Uncle Howdy, um, Braun
Nick
Strowman,
Cross.
Nikki Cross. Those
Mhm.
four, you can't go wrong. You really
Nope.
can't. So moving on, the hit that went around across the world is John Cena going at Cody Rhodes. And yes, I don't want to bring up, because technically it's old shit, right? But his last episode on Raw, where John was out there complaining like a housewife, man. Like it was like insane. And I love the fact that they let Cody come out there and just call it out. So, do you think that was a good move on behalf of John to do that, to go that route?
Do I think it was a good move?
Yeah.
I think it was a great move. And I will tell you why. Because everything he said on there was justified and right. Every last thing he said on there was justified and was right. I had not one complaint about anything he said. I was like, you know what? You're right.
Tell him how you really feel. I just did.
You've been out there busting your ass for I don't know how long, for half the people to be like, you suck, and the other half to cheer.
25 years.
25 years of hearing you suck and then cheering and clapping.
It's just like a marriage.
Exactly. Uh, I think he's going the right route. Um, I would change some things here and there, but overall, I'm invested more than I thought I would be.
I didn't like that he didn't fight at all. I think if you're gonna complain like that, yes, you're full of a lot of anger, a lot of emotion, but you gotta let it out. And the fact that he didn't actually go after Cody again or didn't go after anybody, it's like it's wasted energy.
I think that's perfect though.
You think he's gonna snap at WrestleMania?
I think that's what you do. You let that build up. You excuse me. You let that build up. You can't just go out there every week and attack Cody, because then it's gonna be like, okay, he's probably gonna lose to Cody at WrestleMania. I would keep doing what he's doing. Every week I go and complain about something else.
Bro, I will never forget when I watched Bob Backlund snap. Could you imagine John Cena snapping?
That would be awesome. That would be great.
Because he does that ankle lock. He's
Yeah.
just, oh my gosh.
I think that was Bob Backlund snapping with that What was it? I can't remember that. But yeah, I love it.
It was the sleeper, wasn't it? It was like a full Nelson kind of a thing.
It's called something else.
Chicken wing.
Is it the chicken wing?
I think
It
it's
might
called
be
the
the
chicken
chicken
wing.
wing. Yeah. But yeah, that was great when he finally snapped. And I think Cena has that, and it will be 10 times better if he did fully snap. Just fully snap out.
So the fact that he said, you know what was funny too, because it did cross my mind as I'm watching Raw as it first started.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, is he gonna come out with new music? Is he gonna
Yeah.
come out with new gear? I was expecting him to come out in a suit, you know,
Yeah.
real hair slicked back. Not that I can talk, but hair slicked back, and just out there, just looking like a villain, like he did on Fast and Furious, But no, it was the same old Popeye looking dude. I was like, okay, this is a little off. He did go dark on the shirt though. He got maroon. He's usually bright colors, so he did change that up. But I was hoping he'd have the towel that said "fuck them kids." Them towels would have flew off the shelf. But I don't know, man. I want to see him snap. I think that's the best move right there.
I
Because you
agree.
already heal, you might as well go all out. And I think if he snaps, he's gonna get a different pop. I think he's gonna get the Stone Cold pop, where Stone Cold was always a heel. He just became your favorite heel.
Yep.
So I think that's what's gonna happen with him.
I mean, I can see it. I think that would be a good move for him. Yes. I mean, Cena can pretty much do whatever he wants at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this was the best move for him to turn heel right before he retires. And hey,
I
if
mean,
even
it's literally go big or go home because that's what he
yeah,
plans on doing.
that's it. That's it right there. If he won the title, I don't think I'd be mad. If he lost, I don't think I'd be mad. Either way, I can see where the storyline can go.
I think if he loses the title, he's gonna snap,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and then we won't see him probably till Royal
Summer.
Rumble or SummerSlam. He'll pop up again.
Yeah.
They're gonna reuse him, but I think there's just gonna be like that silently just shows up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, we talked about Cena.
Yeah.
What is The Rock up to? Because that is some straight up Diddy shit. I want your soul. Like, what are you doing? Do you think he's building a regime?
I I I keep hearing that. Um, I mean, I would if I was him. I would get a little click. Maybe it wouldn't call it the bloodline or anything, but I kind of like the corporation.
Okay. So, who's the real boss? Is it Triple H or is it The Rock?
Depends on how you look at it. Because
What if it ends up being that The Rock's not really the puppet master? He's just the Wizard of Oz. The real puppet master is Triple H.
I mean, they can play it like that because Triple H has power over creativity there. The Rock is like a owner, so they can do either or they can honestly do where it's like the Rock against Triple H again type thing, but they have their own factions in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Rock has his team, Triple H has his team. Kind of like the old days where it was DX versus the Nation of Domination.
Mm. So let's say The Rock is planning something, right?
Hmm.
I could see Naomi in there
Hmm.
because she turned.
Yep.
I can see Cena in there because he turned.
Hmm.
I can see Ron Breaker in there.
Yep.
However, it's interesting that they're not putting him against Penta.
Well, Well, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. Like Penta is, I've watched a few of his matches. I'm highly impressed. Him against Braun Breaker at WrestleMania would be, I think, a pretty good match.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I think it looks good on paper.
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be a good match.
Really?
I think they're holding him back. I've watched Penta's matches before WWE, and they're fucking phenomenal.
Hmm.
But they're not letting him do his thing in WWE. Am I right?
That's how it always goes.
Like they're not like he takes so many risks. He gets so many pops. That's the reason they hired him. But
Yeah,
they're not letting him do his thing in the ring. Come on.
but you gotta remember in WWE, they're they're not trying to have us. I don't know if I can even say that word, but they're not trying to have a person that can injure himself permanently. So
Come
in
on.
other,
They let Logan Paul stupid ass do all that crazy shit.
nobody care about Logan Paul, and and Logan Paul is not like a big investment for them. Penta is like they're not trying to get him hurt in the first couple months because of him trying to jump off of a tree or something. Like, like I know I've watched some of his matches as well, and he's very talented, and he can do a whole bunch of moves and a whole bunch of flying off of things. But it's like Jeff Hardy,
Mm.
and you want to kind of reserve him as much as you can because all it takes is one mishap, and he's really going to be like Jeff Hardy. He's going to be injury prone.
I don't know. I just think because he has so many moves.
He does. He
Just so many
does.
that I'm like, what happened? Like you had him set up. I'm really surprised they're letting him do. I don't know what the name of that move is, but that pile driver move that he flips
Yeah.
over. I'm surprised they let him do that shit. That shit looks wicked.
It's supposed to. Like that's a great finisher. I don't. He's not going to be able to do that on some people, but
But man, that's a dope ass move. But
yeah,
okay, going back real quick.
yeah.
So The Rock building some sort of a regime.
Hmm.
I can see Naomi being in there, but I think The Rock wants champions, right?
Okay.
So I think Jay's gonna take it at WrestleMania.
Mhm.
I see Jay going with The Rock.
Nope.
I see Cena going with The Rock.
Of course, yeah.
I see if Penta wins, I can see Penta going with The Rock. Um, I think that's it. I don't think there's a real tag team that, other than Jacob with somebody else, but I don't see there's a tag team out there that would go with The Rock. But I can see The Rock building some sort of a regime and just trying to take over.
I can see the Street Profits going with The Rock.
Oh,
I,
I forgot about them. Okay,
yeah, I can see the Street Profits going with The Rock. I
but they got to
can't,
be champions. They got to be champions.
but they are champions now. They won on SmackDown.
Oh, see, I don't even watch SmackDown, so I got to check that out. Okay,
See? Uh,
who they beat? The two rocker dudes,
no,
Earthquake and Typhoon.
no, they beat Johnny Gargantuan and
Oh yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying.
um
Jersey Shore dudes.
I don't see Jay going because it would make no sense for him to because he's the most popular baby face. So him going would be kind of redundant. Um Penta,
See, Jay, I'm telling you, there's something there because Jay has been saying week in and week out, they've been doubting me. Everybody's saying I can't do it. Blah 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 blah. I want to say that's the build up for the heel turn to be like, The Rock was the only one that had my back. The Rock was the one that made me see the light. The Rock was the one that gave me the motivation.
You can play off that, yes, and that will be fine, but it will also be stupid right now because he's so over with the crowd. Like it would make no sense for him to turn heel right now.
Do you think he's too good of a babyface to turn heel?
I think he's too popular of a babyface to turn heel.
I think if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, he's done.
I think if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, that's when you can say he can turn heel. If if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, then you can be like, okay, he can do a heel turn now, and it'll be justified. But if you do a heel turn while he won at WrestleMania, and he's a baby face, and he's like the biggest baby face on Raw, it wouldn't make any sense.
Hmm. Okay, I can see that logic. So I'm definitely watching WrestleMania.
Hmm.
I hope we get to see Breaker and Penta,
Yes,
but I really hope they let Penta do his
I
thing.
can see that at WrestleMania they let him kind of unleash more.
I love Ron Breaker, and I really hope he becomes a Heyman guy. Could you
Yeah,
imagine
yeah.
Heyman in his corner?
Honestly, I think Heyman could build an amazing stable.
I think it fits, right? I think
Yeah.
it
Oh yeah,
just makes
it
sense.
definitely is. Braun Breaker is the type of person that Heyman can definitely have as a champion, easily, easily. So is Jacob.
Oh, yeah. And I love the triple threat thing that's happening right now with Roman, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk.
Yep,
That makes sense.
yep.
And it's probably given that other dude a break too. What's his name? The big freaking Scotland dude.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because he's dope. His physique is
yeah. Oh yeah,
insane. That guy has champion written all over him. But I
hands
don't
down.
think they're using him right either.
They're not. It sucks.
Yeah. So going back, you mentioned that what was it? Not Penta. Who was it that you said needed to win a low title? Uncle,
Oh,
right?
Uncle Howdy. Yeah,
So who has the belt now? Isn't it
L.A. Knight.
LA Knight? I like LA Knight though, man. I don't know if he could take it from LA Knight.
No, but L.A. Knight about to have his hands full with Jacob. So good luck there.
And I would like to see Jacob and him go at it. So yeah, I ain't too mad at that. Wyatt Sicks, man, they had something so nice. They let it crumble. The last pay per view that I can remember where Uncle Howdy jumping off of that thing onto that table, that shit was insane, messy. It was shot wrong. Yeah, they didn't take a risk like they should have.
No, it was gonna be hard to. I seen that from the jump. It was gonna be hard to do what they want to do with them.
Yeah. So moving on, I've noticed, and if you guys have noticed too, or if it's happening in your area, let me know. But I saw that in some areas, SmackDown is on Netflix. The pay-per-views are on Netflix. It ain't in my damn area. So if it's in your area, let me know. Leave a comment where you're from, and if you can watch SmackDown and the pay-per-views in yours. I still gotta look at Peacock to watch the pay-per-views.
Hmm.
I don't even get SmackDown. So, if you figure out a way, let me know. If I gotta change where I'm located, I definitely will. But until next time, I'm Jay.
Okay.
And this is the JK Theory. Peace.
Peace.
Fuck Lulu Kaiser. I hate that dude. He needs to do like a freaking Abercrombie
Shoot
and
this
Fitch
man.
or some shit. Like he's whack. He gets all this TV time, and if it ain't for his girl, he wouldn't be in the freaking WWE period.
He was there before his girl.
And still, she made him relevant. Did you see the kid with the sign that said "It's Stiffy time"?
Yeah.
That was
Uh,
gold, bro.